Okay.
Okay, so we are going to review for your test.
He said no mama's outside.
So you got to go all the way back to the beginning of chapter 15, which is the introduction to the animal kingdom, or characteristics.
Got up and got that so fast.
What's the matter?
His mom was outside the door with a cellular device.
Do you need to see it? You run.
Cellular. Oh, you meant the quiz that Matthew took yesterday. I probably
Tax.
tax. Ah. Oh no, she kind of looks like I should.
Okay, anyway, all the way back to the beginning of chapter 15, characteristics of the kingdom Animalia. That's what you're looking for.
Days like that.
Or like last week, maybe?
Sponges. Did we already do
Before that. Before that.
Go all the way to go. Keep, oh, that's types of flowers, so it's
Yeah.
not there.
I'm not sure where
Okay. Everybody find it? Beginning of chapter 15.
Yes.
what is it start with?
Characteristics of the kingdom Animalia.
Yes.
The life processes. That's really what you're looking for. The life processes.
Is the least part of that?
No. Keep going.
Keep going. Vegetative reproduction.
Keep going.
Turtle pressure.
Keep going.
no plant?
No clip. I think that sounds good. The
Animal.
Can you repeat what it is?
You're looking for the life processes of animals. That's writing.
Oh, your handwriting's so sloppy.
Oh, that was that day.
Yeah.
You can tell.
That was a while ago.
This is it.
Somewhere in
All of
there.
my
Okay. So for the life processes, first of all, you need to be able to list out the 9 life processes of
Oh,
animals.
that's weird.
So they are movement, support, protection or protective body covering, nutrition, respiration, circulation, excretion, response, and reproduction. Make sure you list those out. There's no specific order, so if you want to memorize them in a different order, whatever works for you, okay?
Let's go over that list one more time.
Movement, support, protection, nutrition, respiration, circulation, excretion, response, and reproduction.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, but also under this, make sure you know what sessile means. This is under movement. So sessile means that it is fixed permanently to some object. Under support, we talked about the 2 types of skeletons. You need to know exoskeleton. Exoskeleton is a system of tough plates covering the outside of the animal. Okay? For the anatomy, did we do the terms next, or did we do the symmetry next?
Symmetry.
All right.
It's the mist.
So for symmetry, you do need to know about bilateral symmetry, right? Did I give you an example like that?
Bilateral?
Dog.
The dog, yes, okay.
The dog.
So make sure you know the dog has bilateral symmetry. Also, you want to know, I didn't write this on here, but probably make a note of it. You want to know worms also have bilateral symmetry, okay? So dogs and worms have bilateral symmetry. You don't need to know the definition of it.
It's a dog with bilaterally symmetrical with a wear it like this or like this.
Okay, then was it anatomy terms after that?
Yes.
Okay, those anatomy terms are a matching section on your test. Okay, so make sure you have them all. You should have cephalic, which is concerning the head, caudal, concerning the tail, interior is toward the front or forward, posterior toward the rear or back, dorsal is the upper surface or back, ventral is the lower surface or front, lateral is toward the side, medial in the middle, toward the middle, midline divides into left and right, and the transverse is perpendicular to the midline. So that will be a matching section. All right, under the classification, make sure you know that its vertebrates are animals with backbones. Okay, they're called vertebrates. And also know that most animals are invertebrates. Yes, 95%. You don't really need to know the number, but just know that it's, most animals are invertebrates. Very much so. Okay, so that's it for section A. Moving on to section B. Now, all the phylum names that are in this chapter, that's going to be a matching section. Okay, and I'll point them out as we go through them. And then also the class names are a separate matching section. So you're going to have to know phylum, phyla, and classes. So the first phylum is phylum Porifera, is the sponges. Make sure you know that. Phylum Porifera. Also under the sponges, make sure you know the cells that can move freely within the mesenchyme are called amoebocytes. Amoebocytes move freely within the mesenchyme of the sponge. Then under, let's see, you need to know, hey.
Can I go get your calculator?
Oh, yeah.
Again.
Collar cells. The collar cells line the cavity of the sponge and have flagella that feed vigorously to generate the water current. Make sure you know that. Those are collar cells. They line this cavity, they have flagella that produce the current within the sponge. Okay, that's it for sponges. Moving on to the phylum Cnidaria. Okay, phylum Cnidaria are the hydra, and the jellyfish are also in this phylum. So under this, remember there was two forms. The polyp form, make sure you know that it reproduces asexually and is sessile, usually. Especially if it's in one of the ones that has double life, two forms of life cycle. So the polyp form is usually sessile and reproduces asexually. Not always, but usually. Okay, here's the first class name you need to know. So hydras are in class Hydrozoa. Okay, class Hydrozoa are the hydra. But they're also in phylum Cnidaria, so you need to know both of those things. Okay, under feeding, the nematocysts. Nematocysts are the capsules containing poisonous barbs. Make sure you know that. And also know that these are only found in this phylum. Nematocysts are only found in phylum Cnidaria. Under responses, make sure you know it's the nerve net that makes, the hydra's nerve net makes reactions possible. They have a nerve net so they can respond. All right, that's it for hydra. Moving on to the jellyfish, make sure you know the class of jellyfish. It is Scyphozoa, class Scyphozoa. And, oh, that's it. I have about the polyp form again, so if you missed it the first time, remember the polyp form reproduces asexually and is sessile. And then the corals and sea anemones are the class Amphizoa. Make sure you know their class. Corals and sea anemones. Class Amphizoa. Okay, so that is section 15B.
This is where I guess.
We're going to move on to 15C, which is all about worms. Like I said, make sure you do know, I don't know if I put it actually in the notes, but worms have bilateral signatures, right? All worms do. All right, the first phylum is phylum Platyhelminthes, which are the flatworms. Also make sure you know that it's the planarians that are in this phylum, planarians. Phylum Platyhelminthes. Okay, under the life processes, let's see, the pharynx. See if you can find the pharynx. You need to know what it is. It's a muscular tube-like.
Something about planarians.
Planarians are in the phylum. We know them as flatworms, but it's also planarians.
Do we have to know the class?
No, you do not need to know that class. But the pharynx is the muscular tube-like throat cavity that we have in the planarian. Also, flame cells. They aid excretion. It's flame cells and a system of tubules help with excretion in the flatworms. Hermaphroditic, this is under reproduction. Hermaphroditic means it has both male and female reproductive organs. Okay, parasitic flatworms. You do need to know what a parasite is. It's an organism that fastens itself to a host, depends upon the host, often harms the host. That is a parasite. And make sure you know the two types of parasitic flatworms are flukes and tapeworms. Flukes and tapeworms. All right, you don't have to worry about the classes for those though. Under the tapeworm, make sure you know the scolex is the anterior end or the head end, the scolex. And the segments are called proglottids. Know that the proglottids are responsible for producing, fertilizing, and storing eggs. Lots and lots of eggs. Right? So the anterior or head end is the scolex, the segments are proglottids, and the proglottids produce eggs. Okay, that's it for the flatworms. Yes, phylum Nematoda. Make sure you know they are the roundworms that are not segmented. Okay, phylum Nematoda, roundworms that are not segmented. And then the example we have is Ascaris. So that is in phylum Nematoda. The Ascaris. That's all you have to worry about with Nematoda. Okay? Then moving on to phylum Annelida, they are the segmented worms. And the earthworm is the one you need to know. The earthworm is in this phylum, but also know that it's the segmented worms. Make sure you know for circulation in the earthworm, it is a closed circulatory system. Closed circulatory system. And excretion is accomplished by nephridia. This is still in the earthworm. Excretion is done by nephridia.
What was before that?
It's a closed circulatory system.
Under the earthworm?
Yes, should be under circulation. Okay, and then once again, make sure you know that the brain is a pair of ganglia for the earthworm. You had to know the very close. There it is again. The brain is a pair of ganglia. That is it for the earthworm. Moving on now to other invertebrates, starting with phylum Mollusca. So here's another phylum name. It includes octopuses, oysters, snails, slugs, squids, and clams. Make sure you know the radula. Radula is the organ covered with teeth that scrapes up food particles, draws them into the mouth. All right, then we move into a class name, class Bivalvia. This is the clams, oysters, mussels, and scallops are in class Bivalvia. Make sure you know that each half of the shell is called a valve.
So like, for class Bivalvia, do we have to know that it's a two-shelled mollusk or that it's clams, oysters?
That is clams, oysters, mussels, and scallops. But you do need to know what each half of the shell is called as a valve. Okay. All right, also under this class, you should look for respiration. Respiration is accomplished by gills. For these guys, gills, respiration by gills. For feeding, make sure you know clams are filter feeders. They feed on the organic material they strain from the water. Filter feeders. Should be after the blood. We talk about kidneys after that.
Wait, can you repeat what you
filter feeders. Clams are filter feeders because they strain food from the water. All right, moving to the next class. So class Gastropoda is the snails and slugs. Make sure you know that. Another class name. Snails and slugs. Under this, you need to know the mantle cavity functions as a lung in respiration. This is under the class Gastropoda. The mantle cavity functions as a lung in respiration. And then you have class Cephalopoda, or the squid and octopus. Another class name. Class Cephalopoda, squid and octopus. Okay.
So squid is actually a mollusk? Squid is unrelated. That's cool.
Okay. Moving on to the next phylum. Phylum Echinodermata, the starfish. Make sure you know that example for that. Phylum Echinodermata, the starfish. Also, though, you need to know the class name for the starfish, and that is Asteroidea. Right, so phylum Echinodermata and class Asteroidea. Know that the arms of a starfish are called rays. Arms are called rays. Also know it's the water vascular system that allows for locomotion and food capture in the starfish. Water vascular system for locomotion and food capture. Okay, and then you need to find coelom. Remember, coelom just means a body cavity. We talked about this with respiration and excretion. Should be under that. Just know that coelom is the body cavity. Yeah, it's in there somewhere.
Yeah, I
It's kinda
like
next
that.
to
I
it.
was like, you could bring it.
Yeah, it's not its own point, it's kind of under some other things. Okay, and then the last bit of classes. Class Echinoidea are the sea urchins and sand dollars. Class Holothuroidea are the sea cucumbers. Class Ophiroidea are the brittle stars and basket stars. And class Crinoidea are the sea lilies and feather stars. It is a 68 question test.
Oh, wow.
That's actually not bad.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I didn't want to make it.
Super long.
Robert in my shoes.
So really?
Kids, tissues.
Sure.
All right. Any questions on that? Oh, what time is it? We have time to watch Marcus Lloyd.
Marcus Lloyd, yes. I was gonna say, but I wasn't.
All right, we do need to shut the camera off.
Alright, she'll do that. No, you shall not. Hey, tell them to.
What's the zoom? Yeah, I was gonna do that. Where's the zoom?
Idiot. This poor video.
Let Jared do it. Jared knows how to do it.
Or no, where's the zoom?
Jared, do what I told you.
Is it zooming?